Spared.
That's right.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate
Just thinking of everybody else.
it.
Yeah, full crew here. Everybody's on time. Even Deb's on time this time.
John is here. You weren't at the last one we had last meeting.
Like,
Was he? I don't remember.
No, it was that special board election when we were here 10 minutes or something.
Well, we would have been here too.
Yeah, but some guy went to South. That's fine. Yeah, okay, hang with that story. We have a lot of meetings. We have a lot of meetings too. See our water bill, Tyler? Tyler,
What's that?
you see the water bill? $21,449.
That's 2 months.
Yeah, that's a deal
Somebody
too.
should have wrote that on there. I mean, I had heartburn over that.
We're running a lot of water out there.
Yeah. How's it look out there? I haven't been out there.
Better,
Is it?
but I think Tim's gonna give us an update.
Okay.
Because I sent an email out to Lindsay and Andrew and Jim and said, hey, let's get an update.
Okay.
All right, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Tyler,
Here.
Jeff,
Yep.
John,
Here.
Deb, here, Andrew.
Here. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda approved. Public forum. I don't believe we have anyone here. Gail, any emails or anything else come in?
No.
Okay, we are right ahead to admin reports.
Carrie, I think, has some information that she'd like to share with you. Coming up here.
This is just a quick kind of update on a portion of the ESSER funds that we have to pull back for learning loss. And so, let me go to the next slide, Gail. Yeah. There are requirements that are surprising, and in there, you can click that link and it will take you right to this handy dandy document that we got from the DE on the guidance that has to do with, and you can look at that. You don't have to pull that up, Gail. It's just in there for them.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna tell you what, you can go to the next slide. These are from the funds that we received, 48,000. What's up there is what will be set aside, what is to be set aside for learning loss. I think is it 20%, Gail, of the funds?
Yes.
Yes.
So what are our responsibilities to get to that we are required to do for the DE for that 20% or that $48,000? Well, we have to develop a plan, and the two, you can see we must engage in meaningful consultation, and we have to provide the public opportunity to provide input. So those are the things. Now, the kicker on that is, and you can go to the next slide. There's two parts to the plan. The first part was just a check off of assurances, and those assurances, that's already been done. It was due May 21st. And those assurances are something that are pretty much the same assurances on just about everything we do. Lindsay did that, and that was done. Do you have anything to say on that, Lindsay?
Nope.
I mean, it's just
It's
a
just-
check mark of yes, no, and
Right.
we've already done that.
Mhm.
The second part is a plan that is due August 23rd. But as you can see, the template and guidance for part 2 is not available to districts yet. And it is supposed to be available no later than July 21st. So we keep checking, but I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. We know we've got kids that, at the high school, for example, that are doing credit recovery. due to learning, whether it's due to learning loss or whatever it was due to over the last year. Right now, we're gonna code those funds through this. Now, if we see that there's something in there that's like, oh, okay, we're gonna backtrack, then Gail will get, we've already talked about that, and we'll recode that a different way. Same with kids at elementary and intermediate that are doing summer school right now. Because we know last year when we did a lot of work and then the state said, oh, wait a minute, now we want we're gonna change the rules a little bit. So we're waiting till we see what their guidelines are. And then we will put those and we will come up with our plan from there. And that's kind of where we're at right now. We're really waiting for that template, because for us to put a lot of work into this, when we're not sure what those guidelines are gonna be at this point, we did a lot of that for the return to learn plan last year, and then we had to do a lot of backpedaling. So we're gonna wait and see what it says, and then we'll put that into place. I mean, we've got data and all that, so it'll just be, how does that plug into? So we will bring that to you. We will bring what we have to the July board meeting. And we hope to have a big chunk of that done so that we can get that public and we'll have it on the website and all that, like we were told to do. So that was just to kind of get you up to speed on where that chunk of money is and where we are on that. Any questions?
Are you leading this? Okay.
To hit that $48,000 threshold, is that gonna be very much work, or how many kids does it take?
Well, I think it just depends on what some of those guidelines are. I mean, what we do, we have a set amount that we pay teachers. We call it our curriculum rate. It's $25 an hour, and that's what we pay for teachers when they teach summer school,
Okay.
when they do, and we also will build in some planning time in that as well, because we know it does. So we're gonna wait and see what that says, but we don't know. I don't think it will. We have ways that we can use that money.
And the money doesn't have to be spent until 2 years out.
Yeah, we're talking
So it's-
2023.
Oh,
well,
I
Yeah.
got some of the pressure off. I was thinking, okay, we got a short window
So
to figure out how
we,
to
for
use it.
example, like
Okay.
at the middle school, they do some Tuesday,
Okay.
Thursday things after school. We might be able to supplement some of that for that. We're just gonna have to make sure that we're meeting their criteria
Yeah.
of whatever theirs is. So
Yeah, it's either 23 or 24. I forget which ESSER funds or which.
I think it's 23.
It's 23.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't take very long on
Yeah.
a couple of full-time equivalents that you've got to use up.
I mean, Ames, for example, with the funds that they're getting, they're actually hiring a director just for learning loss.
Well,
I know.
But that's the Title I and.
Yes.
Yeah.
We just don't get the same amount of funds.
We're good with that.
We thought we'd give you guys a heads up because it will be coming for approval.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Lindsay, anything else on the admin reports, return to learn?
The biggest thing is right now that we're kind of backing off a little bit with Ashley as far as that point person. Not to say that she won't be doing that in the coming beginning of school, but it's kind of, we talked about it administratively. What had happened was Tim last year, when we were in the midst of this all, had kind of taken the athletics and kept us going with the notices. So I think that's what the plan is. And then again, once we come back, then the school nurses and Ashley will be playing that role again. Hopefully it won't be as extensive as what we had to this past year.
Ashley deserves a summer off, so.
Yeah, there you go.
I said, let her enjoy her summer with her family and her normal job, and I agree, I mean, the fall, who knows what's gonna bring, it looks like we should be back to somewhat normal next fall, but yeah, Ashley needs to enjoy her summer, she did an outstanding job, so. Anything else, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Anything else from administrators on the return to learn? Okay.
Announcements and celebrations, and I think we've got a few here. Lindsay, I'll let you kind of kick it off, you and your team, and I've got a few here as well, so.
Anyone from the team want to kick off anything as far as announcements and celebrations? Don't all jump in at once here.
I will.
We did it. We did it.
Yes, that was the big one.
It was a great, yes, it feels good to say we can do it, all the hard work. And I think I've said it and we've all said it numerous times, but just huge credit to everyone. It really was, from community, parents, students, teachers. We did it. It was great. Great end of the year celebration. Andrew and Tyler, thank you. Thought that went really well as well.
Thank you, Amy.
Tim, did you have something?
Sure. We had our girls soccer team made the state tournament, made it to the semifinals. We had a girls golf team who got second place at state, including Eden Lorbach, who got first as an individual, and our boys golf team were state champions.
Super.
Been a good spring.
What are you gonna do next spring, Tim?
Well, obviously, we got a few more teams that will get to state, obviously. I mean,
That's a good run we got going right now.
yeah, it was a lot of fun this year. What? Amazing spring.
Yes.
Good job.
Yep. Anyone else have anything? I think we had, was it 150 kids that's at Invention Convention?
No, it's over 160 kids at Camp Convention.
Can't, I always say that wrong.
That's
Camp
okay.
Convention, yes. So it was, we had our own traffic jam again this morning, it was out to the roundabout. Good numbers there.
Well, I just kind of want to echo Amy. I wrote some notes here. Tyler and I had the opportunity to speak in front of the staff at the year-end party, let's call it. And I mean, we said probably 50 times thank you to the staff, but again, just want to say it again. They were outstanding. Lindsay, your entire team did a great job. I mean, I can't say enough what you guys went through this year, and on behalf of the board and the community, I just want to say thank you. You guys killed it this year. And again, a special shout out. Amy.
One way of saying it.
I would have used a different word. That's all right. Yeah, that's a good point. Ashley, the nurses especially. I mean, everybody did awesome, but man, they went through a lot last year. Ashley, Soma, and the nursing staff. And again, just thank you so much what you guys did. And that was my celebration and announcement.
And it was really so much work last summer. And so
Yeah.
appreciate all the work, especially the team that's here with us right now, all the work last summer, because I think that really set the plate for the fall. And yeah, we had to do some pivots, but we had a good plan, and I think it flowed so well. So not just this team, but this team that's here right now, put a lot of extra work in, much appreciated. And yeah, it was kudos to the teachers too,
Oh, yeah.
and the staff. And I mean, we had 3 custodians retiring, and you know, thankfully they were here with all of their experience, Lindsay with all of your experience. So it wasn't an easy year, but congratulations to everybody for getting through it.
I think I would say too that our parents stepped up. Obviously, this was facilitated by the school, but with a lot of support from our community parents. So I tell you, I've been at several different places within Ames, just at the doctor's office. Took a child to the doctor's office today, and every chance that I get, you know, they'll ask, "How was the last year?" Good. You know, it was good. She was able to be in school all year, study. And I've heard more and more people say, you know, some school districts just seem to really know how to do it. So, and that's kudos to us that I think people recognize that. So, congratulations. My God, yes, please take some time. to
Right.
relax, gear up for the next time.
And I also did a great job. I know you were president last year during this mess, and you did an outstanding job. So thank you for that. Last thing I have here, Lindsay, is it's your last board meeting. So I just want to say thank you. You've
Thank
been
you.
with Gilbert. I said it's 8 years, 9 years. How many years is
10.
it? 10 years. I should have rounded up. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank
for
you.
the district. And I said, yeah, it's going to be your last meeting, so you can pretty much say whatever you want. I mean, you're working on it.
It is being recorded.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
But thank you very much, Lindsay.
Thanks.
I said, this last year was probably not your most exciting year with everything we went through. Pie was good. We want to always remember.
Yep.
But again, thanks for leading us through it. And again, it's just nice to have it behind us this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anything else, John, Jeff? You guys good?
I've got one more.
All good.
Our track teams, both boys and girls, had athletes compete down at the state. Did quite well down there as well. And I was thinking that was before our last meeting, but it was not. So I want to make sure I don't leave them out.
No. Appreciate it, Tim.
Jason.
Jason, go ahead.
So I wanted to give you a brief update about the sign on the south side of Gilbert. Since Matthews is closed tonight, please go out the south way down Grant. This weekend, they put the brick, the sign, the masonry and the caps, and everything on it. Looks outstanding. So the next thing is we're waiting for the actual sign to be installed. We have it here, but I just wanted to share some things with you about how the Gilbert pride that we have. We called in a lot of help for this, for favors and things, and I just wanted to list some of these people. You know, Sean Schnormeyer, Gilbert grad of '99, did all the wiring, the trenching, and all the calculation. He's much smarter than I am with all that. We have Dan Wright, our facilities person, graduated in 1983. Brent Randolph, who did a lot of landscaping and things, class of 2009. We also Jason Hanish, previous Gilbert student, with Sergio and his crew. They came in on Saturday and Sunday. That was just awesome to watch. So that was great. And of course, both my parents were out there trenching with it, and that was great to see. And my kids trying to pull the wire all the way from the baseball fields all the way out there with a tractor.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. So thank you for the board's support with that.
Oh, it looks really nice. I saw it, and yeah, when it's all done, it's gonna be a nice
Are they
little
gonna be in
entryway.
sync, or are they gonna be different messages, the two?
Either we can sync them, or we can have different, different messages or whatever. So
I think the original plan was keep them the same,
Keep them the
so
same.
it's simple, but
Yeah.
there's
Well, I was
flexibility.
gonna say, I think we have people in our district that also help manage the Iowa DOT stuff. Like the one at the highway, so I was always imagining.
Oh, yes.
those things as well. Good job. I've been watching it all year, like just watching where it goes.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate it. Anything else before I move on? All right, board reports, 2022 IASB legislative priorities. I think by next board meeting, we gotta have those into you, Gail.
So what we usually do is you pick your top 5 and you can email them to me throughout between now and July meeting. And then I'll report the results at the July meeting. And because they are due August 11th, so the top 5. And it's in the packet of information. In the last year's, I believe is in the back of the packet of information that I submitted. On pages 17 and 18, I believe, so if you want to look at the past. But that information is there.
New Iowa standards for school leaders. That was in our packet as well.
I wanted to bring this to, I watched the webinar and I actually sent out some information. It's on the ISB. There's 2 parts to it, and it's a little different because we'll have a new superintendent. But on pages 25, they go through the next steps. And so if you want to just take a quick glance on what is expected or what is anticipated, on pages 25 and 26 is kind of a timeline, and there's more to come, but it just talks about, so if you're interested, review it, and then the webinar is out there, and it's a 2-part webinar.
And the last board report is school board elections for this year are November 2nd. We've got John, Nelson, and Deb up for re-election this year. Candidates can begin filing on August 23rd, and then the deadline for the filing is September 16th.
I'll have the people, I do not have the paperwork yet, but as soon as that comes in, I'll have it in my office, and then we will also have it on the website for people and patrons.
Anything else, Gail, on that when you talk about?
No, that's all I have for that.
All right, old business. We got the second reading of some board policies. So Deb, I will let you speak on these.
Thank you. So, these are the policies. I was just looking at the summary. Do you think you could pull that up? So like bottom, yes, I can. Yep. So we really don't have policies that we enrolled this month, but we're going to finish off the big chunk that we reviewed thus far. And the ones here just represent the last of the kind of pretty simple comparisons that we had where they really do match up very well. Save like maybe a few spots where we have to put an insert or something like that. And we would be looking to approve these perhaps without a third reading if the board agrees. There is, I would say, the one significant, or the piece at the end that I think is maybe worth mentioning is if you scroll all the way to the bottom, yeah, it kind of looks like it's out. Yeah, this represents actually six different policies that are a little bit more than just the actual compare. In one case, we have an add the license employee qualifications. So this is just the administrative rules that was included in the compare. We need to finally delete 409.2E1, which is that emergency policy that expired on March 31st. A policy that ISB recommended, classified employee probationary status, 411.8. That's one that they recommend, but it's not applicable to our district. So of course we would just ignore and not add that. And then I think the one that I would say, the non-resident students, 501.2, there is a revision. And this is not as significant as it might look. And what we have is in this policy, it started to reference some of the open enrollment guidelines. And rather than having that listed twice in two separate policies and risking that they be out of sync, simply suggesting that those be stripped and that we point to the new policy. That is actually just, I think, a smart move to make it easier to maintain. And then clean up on the one for physical education when a person can choose to opt out. But those are the policies. Like I said, we'll hit back into it in probably a more thorough manner because now you're starting to look at the policies that where there might be substantial change or there just might be topics that as a board we decided we want to revisit. So this gets us through almost 200 of the policies, the 280 that we have. That's it.
Thank you, Deb. Any questions on the policies? We have a motion to approve the second reading.
So moved.
And waive the third.
And wait the third. So moved.
Second.
Additional discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passed. Waive the third reading. Thank you, Deb.
Andrew,
Yes.
Andrew Popish had something come up. So
Yep.
he's not on right now.
Okay.
And I see that's next on the agenda. Would you be able to?
There's nothing there that,
Yeah, we're okay.
where
We'll just
I'm
keep
good
going.
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of an update. I guess right now, maybe if Tim, if you want to give us an update on the fields.
Yeah.
Now might be a good time.
Can do. So I met with the baseball and softball coaches today, and we just talked a little bit about a plan on maybe trying to get a game or two on there before the end of the season. Right now, we're just not sure if they're quite ready. And there's obviously some things that need to be done as far as cleanup around the place, and we'll get that taken care of in talking to Dan and Brent. That won't be a problem. They're also, like Brent's been working on some sprinkler heads, and I think JM's coming in to finish up some of that work this week as well. So we're gonna have the baseball and softball varsity teams go out and practice, hopefully at the beginning of next week, and see how they feel the fields are. I don't want to just make a determination that we're going to play on them. I said, I'd like you guys to go out and get on them and see what you think and see what the kids think. And then we'll get a target date for, like I said, the last couple games if we possibly can. At the very least, what we'd like to do is have the seniors play on there one time and kind of make a little celebration out of that, have senior night, and maybe get some food trucks and all of that. So that's kind of what we're working on. I know we had kind of hoped that would be, during this time at the middle of June, but I just don't think they're quite ready yet. And the coaches are kind of that same spot right now as well.
Are you happy with the progress, Tim?
Much better than it used to be, yes. I really feel like in the last couple of weeks, there's been some good growth with the grass and everything. Honestly, at the beginning of the summer, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we'd be talking about this. I just figured we were going to wait till next year. But the work that they've been doing, you can definitely see the progress. And I think that there's a chance that we can get there. I'm not going to say that we're going to be on it, but we're definitely going to give it a shot.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions from you guys?
No, I apologize. You guys should, those kids should be on there. That's our fault, Tim.
No, it's not yours, but yes.
No, it is Jeff's fault. I would agree. I'm not gonna.
Well, Jeff's got more time now since he just retired today, I heard. So, you know.
Oh,
he
thank
should-
you. Yes, thank you. Yes.
So we can spend more time thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, what is the deal though, and this might have been wrapped up in the story construction, I'm not sure with Adam, but with the, I know you're talking about the higher water bill. But what was due to irrigation problem or something?
No, there's 2 months.
There was a leak. Was there a leak, Tim? Do you know anything about the irrigation leak?
Yeah, I believe that there was. I can't remember exactly where it was at or how long that was going either, but yes,
Yeah, there was a
did not help.
This accounts for part.
Do we have, Tim, do we have anything that would set off an alarm and tell us that's going on?
Not that I know of,
Okay.
but I could ask Dan about
Why don't
that.
you ask, see if you can, buy-
Yeah.
especially since we're buying that expensive water.
Water meter on that.
Yes.
Hog barns.
Yeah, okay.
So here's a little bit of stats on the water. This month, the bill was $13,000 for all of it, and of that, $9,700 was the high school loan. Last year, it was $295. So, it was about 300,000 gallons of water.
And I believe,
Would you say, Tyler, put a meter on it? How do you, what do they do? At the hog
Meter to
barn?
water. Yeah, meter to water, just to know what your water either disappearance or use is. And then you can set alarms to them.
Okay,
So that once you
okay.
get so many, yeah.
Well, we should do something.
300,000 gallons, though.
I mean, we
What
probably
about-
could have bought 'em.
Did she say 300,000 gallons?
Yeah.
And that is up from $295?
No,
I'm
so,
sorry.
no, that was gallons.
Yeah,
$300.
no,
But
I'm
the high
sorry.
school loan for this month was $9,700.
Yes.
A year ago, it was
That's what I'm
$295.
saying. Yeah, right. And how much of this is attributed to the leak in the irrigation?
I don't know if we know.
You don't know, because it's not on separate.
Well, you'd be able to go by gallons of water.
Yeah.
How many gallons did the high school use a year ago and how many gallons did it
Well,
use this?
$295.
Probably water a little more this year too, I assume.
And they tripled our price. The city did.
Yes, they did.
A reminder, we were shut down a year ago as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget that?
Yeah, Tim, thanks for breaking the meeting down.
Jeez.
Yeah, but let's see if we can put some meters on there or some alarms so we know.
Yeah, I agree, everyone that's happening.
But even you could go back and see the bill the year
Yeah.
before.
Even a month
But then,
before,
but yeah,
you know. Well, I mean, when school was in, you just see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Jim Lyden's barntools.com.
What is it?
Barntools.com.
Did you hear that, Tim?
Jeff, you've got time now, don't you?
No, I'm busy. All right, well, we'll do something. We'll get it.
All right. We've got a,
Did you want to approve the request changes for construction? 'Cause
you're right, that's exactly where I was gonna go.
Yeah, okay, I'm
So,
sorry. I thought that's what
We
we're
only
at.
need action on the change
On
order.
the change order.
Yeah, I'll make them.
And just real quick, the change order dollar amount we have on the agenda is incorrect. It should be $9,038.84. That just came across today, Gail, was an update on that, so there's a last minute change. So, sorry, you go ahead.
No, I'll make a motion to approve the changes, change requests.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, change order approved. Next item is the 21-22 board meeting schedule. And I think Gail, there's one item you want to hit on here, is that correct? For
Yes, I have
November.
that yellow highlighted here. So July meeting, we're gonna delay it a week because of the 4th of July holiday. That's just a little too tight to get things done. I don't know if you remember the last election we had to delay our meeting because the canvas votes go to the supervisors and they approve it and the board can't actually take action until the supervisors take action. And it was too tight of a time frame for us when we had the last election. So I was suggesting that instead of November 8th, go to November 15th. If that's okay, then hopefully that gives them enough time to canvass the vote, approve it, and then pass it on to us. That is the only thing. Now this here, we set the meeting date in November at our annual meeting. We set the meeting date, which is usually the second Monday of every month. So this is just basically information for you as board members to maybe set dates in your calendar, give you an idea of what our action items are. And then we actually take this and publish it July 1 in our website for the public. So that's why we bring it here to you to review it, make some of these changes, but it does not need official action. It's just more informational. And then we can go from there. And we'll make the November 15th instead of November 8th. Because it's a November 2nd election.
Didn't we recently make a change to early graduation process? I see that's on September 15th. That might be something.
But
Early
typically,
early graduation where we, if you have the credits. I don't know. I thought that we saw it in policy.
the board has to approve that every year.
I thought we moved it back, didn't we?
I thought we
That's by
were
certain date.
Okay.
So let me,
Yeah.
but
Let me
anyways,
check
if we
that.
have time to
That
look at that
makes sense what
before
you're saying.
July,
I mean,
before it's published, right?
Yeah, we talked about it, Aaron talked
Yeah.
about it. It was kind of, the date was kind of a weird date. So-
Well, we had some exceptions that we wanted to add.
And I thought there was something to say that, listen, if you.
Because I think we changed that policy.
Essentially, right, we did.
Didn't we change the policy? too?
Mhm. We changed the policy, so I'll just.
I will double check that to make sure that, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
So we should go with the 15th.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need to vote on that.
Nope,
right?
no
We just-
information.
nope. It
I
might-
will make it, it'll be public information after
Yep.
tonight, it'll be published.
No one has any problems with that, I assume, on the board?
No, we good. No, I think we should. That's probably the week of the convention. So it'll be, back to back.
Super board week.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Gail. Next item, bids for bakery, dairy, fuel, and trash. I think those are all in your packets as well.
Look at all of those bakers, those dairy bids.
That's a first.
Just so that you know, there were 8 bakery bids that were sent out. So I don't know.
You can't really see this.
There were 5 dairy bids that were sent out and 5 petroleum. People are having trouble, schools are having trouble getting bids.
I saw that.
There's no doubt about it. Can we get that in paper?
So can I ask a couple questions on this? We have a lot of garbage people around here and we only got what, 2 bids back or 3 bids? And do we have to vote on this tonight or can we have you go out and get us more bids like the fuel one? Key Cooperative should bid on this. I mean, they got a place right down here.
They were sent a,
They were sent a request.
yeah, I don't know if we got a denial from them or what. I had to check with Tia, but,
We had no response from them.
okay.
I think we have to follow up. I mean, I don't think we should just. I don't know. I don't know. I think we should follow up and get some more bids.
For just the petroleum,
No, for
we can't get any for the bread, that's. been-
No, that's fine. Bimbo owns everything. I
It's-
mean, they own everything.
On the bids, we have a timeline and a deadline, so we would have to go through the process all over again. I'm just telling you,
Yeah.
we can't just go out and ask for them. We have to go, it's a process and a procedure and it's a sealed bid.
Well, I agree. I
So-
understand, but I think we're not fulfilling our responsibilities to the patrons if we don't get enough bids. So I don't know about all the process and how to get them, but I'm not comfortable with one bid for fuel and the trash bids that we had.
What would you do, Jeff? I'm not trying to
I don't
argue,
know.
but what would you like us to do as far as, because I know that they've had the information, they sent it out and they didn't send it back. Do we?
I think
call?
I think you call them. I mean, because we win on this. We win if we save 5 cents a gallon, we win. That's a big number. I mean, if we save, it's a big number and I'm just not comfortable. In fact, that's all we do. We approve spending and set policy. And, I don't think it's okay the way it is. So I don't know, Gail, how we go about and do it again.
Okay, so we'd have to go through the process again, so we'd send out letters to everybody and give them the opportunity to give another sealed bid. Now, we'll have to communicate to the people that have already done that and say, basically, the board has rejected all the bids and we're redoing this. And then we go through and we send out all the letters again and see if they submit a bid again.
Are we as a board comfortable with that?
Here's my thoughts on it, Jeff. I agree, we gotta watch the dollars, and this is kind of where we can step up. I don't necessarily know if we do it this year. I say we go forward what we have, but going forward, I do think a follow-up, maybe just it's something that we send them to, hey, are you interested or not? Yes or no? And that way we know. I'll go to the garbage quick, because I know this one pretty well. I was shocked Walters didn't bid, so I just called the owner and said, what the heck, you didn't bid on our garbages? Well, you can, why not? He said, I did bid on it. And I said, well, according to this, you did. He said, well, I know I did. So I didn't ask for anything else. I wasn't part of it. Now, again, I'm not asking to open that back up. I don't even know where it's at, but so somehow, some way, there was some lack of communication of whether he bid or didn't bid. He said, I got emails.
So who's in charge of getting all the bids? Are you?
Dan, the maintenance department did they contacted all the waste disposal people.
Right.
Because they know what they need, and
Okay,
so they
okay.
actually contacted the people and got the bids and then submitted it. So this document that's in your board packet tonight is from the maintenance department, from Dan Wright.
For the garbage.
For the garbage.
And the rest of it was
Priscilla
just-
does the.
Right,
So,
right.
and the bread and milk and the fuel comes out of the district office with a letter, a process and a procedure. It's a legal document.
And one of the things that they do is they talk to like Bruce to see, are we gonna be using any, there used to be biodiesel. We
Right,
don't do
right.
that, so we dropped it. Deb, what are the key things that we need to have in there? So she'll tell us, those are the things that we look at in the bakery portion of it too. So, I mean, if you wanted to know what I thought, I mean, I'm not an expert in that area,
Yeah,
that's why we
yeah.
bring them in.
I guess,
Yeah,
Is it an all or nothing? I mean,
Yeah, can we look at
Can
some
we-
of
Can we
them?
just do fuel and approve the rest of them? If we got 3 bids, I think.
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's
reasonable.
fine, I agree.
Yeah,
yeah.
so think about this, so on the fuel, we would just have to, I would suggest that you reject. If you're not gonna take action on it, you reject it. And then, because then we have to tell the person that didn't make the timeline that the bid was officially rejected, because we're starting the process over again, so it's fair for everybody again.
but we could accept dairy, we could
Yes.
accept bakery if we said
And
that's
then-
probably all it's gonna be.
Right.
And then reject,
Get those done.
Yeah.
We could do that.
yes.
that's what my motion would be, to accept those, all of them except fuel.
Reject that bid.
What about trash? That's in there too.
We did have several.
I'm
We
okay
had
with
3
3
with
bids.
trash.
Yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah, I'm okay with that. And it's much less than we're paying now.
From what I didn't know, I went back and looked at some numbers we were paying before, and it's.
Yeah, we're paying
much
about
less.
$5,000 a month right now.
Yeah, it's a lot less.
And it's this coming in at like
Okay.
27.
So we're losing money waiting on.
Yeah.
Okay, so the motion is going to be from Jeff, approve bakery, dairy, and trash services, and then reject the fuel.
Yes.
And to be clear, so they reject the fuel just to try to
Get
go out
more
and try to
bids.
get.
I
more
mean, you could
bids,
get it
and
again.
then-
I'm not saying that. I just want to
You
bid.
just have to give everybody the same
Yeah,
opportunity.
And then I think we need to call them.
Yeah, I mean,
Find
somebody.
out why they're not bidding.
And is this, is our contract up, Gail, or when's the contract up with fuel?
It's just a rolling.
Rolling, okay,
They're providing until we let them know.
got it. And who provides it today? Is Martin on it today?
Martin is our current.
Okay, good. I mean, I guess I'm glad of that.
I'll
So,
second that motion.
further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passed, accepted.
And Lindsay, I know you got some time saved up, but we've watched this process a little bit, please. I mean, or have somebody.
All right, next item, we have the school fees and hot lunch prices for next year.
Okay, the only fees that we have to legally change is the adult prices have to increase 10 cents. That's mandatory because of the federal and state mandates, so. And then the other band uniform cleaning and the vocal uniform cleaning, they went out to receive quotes, and the prices are around $13 this year to clean. So we rounded up to 15, and because we're not sure if there's going to be another increase yet before they actually get it done. So, and then I don't know, a couple months ago, I think I included this kind of what other schools do and what the averages are for this. But the cost, the only increase for band and vocal was basically just because the actual increase of the cost and to cover that cost for the departments.
I got something that it's something to think about. I was reading it on some school did, and maybe it was when we were down at the convention, but they made the athletic programs free for everybody to get into so that they could have community. And I don't know how big a hole that would shoot in our budget, but if we were to open the gates for free and up our concession stands.
We don't do concessions though.
It's all.
It's all, we would
Okay.
have to get,
Okay.
yeah, so we don't have any means to offset that.
Okay, because I don't know how big a hole that would put, but I thought, gosh, that's kind of a neat idea.
The officials are the biggest expense anymore now.
Do we have to do some of it just because of the conference though? No.
Hey,
The
Tim,
conference doesn't mandate that.
is there, when we're in that conference, is it regulated that we charge a certain amount? Isn't that what they talked about like a couple meetings ago?
It tells you, I mean, the conference decides what we're going to charge, yes. Whether or not we charge would be up to us, but I mean, that's pretty much my entire budget other than the money for
Yeah. What's your entire budget then, Tim?
the entire amount.
Yeah. Ish.
I couldn't tell you for sure off the top of my head, no.
Okay, all right. That's a flying thought, so I always like to keep you guys on edge.
That's a good thought. I don't-
Make sure Tim is behaving like that.
Yeah. Well,
He puts, a couple teams in state victories and
Yeah.
here's
Oh,
John.
yeah. Well, it would be that we'd find other funds to cover the hole that would, I just kind of thought that was kind of a neat idea.
I would hope though, Jeff, John, that, if the coaches or Tim or somebody, if we knew of students that weren't going out for sports because of that, then we as a school could figure out a way I would just think as a district, we would be on top of that.
Andrew, let me be clear, that you're saying not going out for sports because of the fees or not paying ticket prices at the
This
gate?
is the fees. This is
Fees.
the
I thought you were talking about the ticket.
I was talking about tickets.
Oh, sorry, I apologize. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about ticket prices. Okay.
But I'll be honest with you, I looked at this earlier and I talked to Andy and then I talked to Gail. I'm not a big fan of the $15 charges that we give those kids. I don't know if there's some other way we can pay for it. And the cleaning fees for the uniforms or the performance robes. I'm just not a big fan of that. I don't think those kids should have to do that. So if this goes, if we have to vote on this, I would vote against it because of those two fees.
Where else would you, I'm just trying.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
dollar amounts or
know.
where else?
Gail, is there any more, is there anything else to get it?
Not from general fund, because it's not a general
And
fund.
so a lot of activities do have fees to.
Oh, I know.
participate, And they do get, I know Byron does a wonderful job of trying to make sure that they have free instruments if they are not
Yeah.
able to. And I do know that, I get your point, I get your
Yeah.
point, Jeff, but I think it just happens to be one that's displayed here, and I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah.
As opposed to.
And Gil and I talked about it. There's other things like industrial arts kids have
Yeah.
fees too, and I get that, but
If it wasn't on here,
this
it
is
wouldn't
just
matter.
doesn't sit right with me, so. If you pass it, you pass it without my vote, that's okay, I'm not mad.
I think the key in passing that is that there is scholarship for that we as a district know that nobody is prohibited from participating.
I'd probably be better with that.
There,
Yeah.
I think there is, right? We
I,
make that.
we've spoken from the board to make sure that, and if there's not, that we go out and find that.
Right.
Well, and also know that if they're free or reduced, which if we're in a normal year, if they actually applied and did the waiver, that if they're free, there's no fee. If they're reduced, then there are reduced fees
Yeah.
too. That's,
I'll move approval.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Motion passed.
You didn't oppose it.
I spoke at the right time.
That's a first. Financial reports.
Okay, well, I've got kind of a different stuff I'm gonna talk about, not only just financial, but we've got some good things happening. We always have good things happen, but I wanted to let you guys know that we met with, we currently have, last year on July 1, we put in an employee systems program for employees. And for the year, we had, and that's for employees and family members, we had about 9 people actually use it this year, which was, that's a success. Somebody's using it, somebody needed it in a all year. So we didn't realize that, what was gonna happen, but because we investigated it before. And so now we see they have a student assistance program. So July 1, we're gonna add not only, this isn't in the packet. So we just met last week. So we're gonna have an employee assistance program, and then we're gonna have a student assistance program. It's totally virtual. And the students, there's 24 access telephone support, orientations, dedicated account manager that will promote this to students, make them aware. They have 6 virtual counseling sessions. And then if they are actually a member of a staff member, then they would also be able to take advantage of the services through the employees portion. So the cost for this is $4 per student per year. And we applied for an ESSER grant, which is a state-funded grant, and it is a competitive grant. And this is part of that grant, along with some other things. And then if we do not get the, if we are not successful with the ESSER grant, it will fall as a Title IV, which is a federal fund, federal funds for mental health awareness and support for students. So this will be in effect July 1st. So it's a nice opportunity for our students, another avenue, another means, another vehicle for them. So we met with the guidance counselors, presented to them last week. Everybody's so excited about it. We've signed the agreement for July 1. And so the guidance counselors already said, when can we publish this? When can we start letting our students know? So as soon as we get it executed on both ends, we will send the information out. So you should be able to, you'll probably see the information coming along, emails, websites, and we'll be blasting it out on all sorts of students things. So that's a great addition. I talked about the water bill a little bit, and the expenses in the expenditures this month were a little bit higher in the actual expenditures, because I didn't know if you guys were aware, but we have an agreement with the Teachers Association that every May we pay out the TSS funds. So we estimated at the beginning of the year, starting in September, we estimate how much of those, that bucket of money that we're going to spend in TSS or teacher quality. It's part of the teacher quality. And then it's an estimate. And then we look to see what the balance is for those teachers, that the balance that is in that account that hasn't been used. And then we distribute it equally amongst the staff that is currently here, because that's the big, that money is actually for the staff that are currently teaching in this current year. So we expense that out in May, and that I noticed that our salaries and benefits were a little bit higher. And we were in the red versus a little in the green for that month, and that is contributed to that. And so I wanted to let you know about that. The other thing is we have summer people and summer employees working now. Brent has 3 or 4 employees this year, which is very consistent. In the past, we haven't had consistency with our summer employees, and we do have those now. So that would show up in our building and grounds, which was a little bit higher in May too. So I wanted to mention that. And the TSS payment was just to give you an idea of that dollar amount, was $50,000.
And it's just a transfer from one budget to the other, it's not, right? I mean, we had it allocated for,
So we estimate, yeah, so like the state gives us, let's say the state gives us in TSS, they give us $230,000. And that we have to distribute, and I'm not gonna tell you how we distribute it, it's based on education and years of service, and it's a formula. So, and then we estimate, it's in the negotiated agreement, that we estimate that, spread it out throughout their salaries of September through August. But it's an estimate, and you never know who moves across, who leaves, who comes, and then by the time when the dust settles, you're in the year. And then is there money left over? And there, this year, we had approximately $50,000 that we needed to expense before June 30th. So the current staff that's teaching at this point in time, receive that money. You know, if somebody left, and we did it last year, rolled it over, well, they wouldn't be here, and that's part of their funds. So that's the agreement we have with them on that.
how often does that happen?
Every year.
Oh,
Every
no,
year.
every year we pay it out.
Mhm.
I just don't think I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Maybe. it was
But it's
just
hard
more-
to determine because it's the calculation of where everybody's at on the salary schedule.
So what's the range?
For
The money?
payout,
Yeah, what, I mean, what kind of?
probably anywhere from $537 to maybe $200.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
And then we set aside $15,000 just in case you don't want to go over. So that's part of our agreement in there. You know, and just an overall review of the financial reports. I was going to, some of the things that I noticed is, you know, interest rate or interest was, you know, I overstated or over budgeted for interest, and that one I was like, that kind of stuck up. I mean, I'm not sure why, and maybe it was because of, you know, we had the investments for our project last year, but that needs to be reevaluated for next year, and one thing that I reviewed on that. And but overall, for year to date, you know, we're tracking, and we're about as we are planning a net loss of $34,000, but that's if we spent all of our budget. And so as I say that, we're sliding into June. And I just billed other school districts for regular education and concurrent tuition over $500,000 that we'll be receiving. But then in turn, we will also be expensing our tuition to other districts. So just know that there's lots of activities in financial world happening June, July, and August. And that's all taking place right now. With that being said, we are also trying to collect fees. Right now, our district office sent out, we went ahead and sent out snail mail of notices for the lunch fund. That's something that we just thought, you know, to say that we are doing everything we can, that people may be ignoring our emails. So let's just do snail mail for the, and so those went out Thursday or Friday. And just to give you an idea, on June 3rd, our deficit for food service was $11,100. And I checked right before I came in, and we're down to $9,400.
Oh, nice.
So I guess as a district, if somebody asks the question, are you doing everything you are to trying to collect those funds? And I think by sending out the snail mail and notices in the mail, I think I can honestly say we are doing everything we can. And we've made phone calls to the high flyers, trying to set up payment plans and everything that we can. So we're working on it and trying to collect the fees at the end of the year before June 30th, the best we can. And I will be doing special ed tuition bills will be sent out July 15th. That deadline is July 15th. So that will be done, and then lots of activities for closing the books June 30th. So June 30th is an important date for all cash transactions for banking, but we still keep our books open and through August to make transactions that's not so much cash related. So that's kind of how that works. And other than that, I think those are the things I wanted to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, I had one question for you on the, so kind of on your, on the budget for the year. There's that column that's called accruals, and looks like you're penciling in about little 2,182,000. You still feel good about that number? I'm just comparing that to our overage on our actual to kind of see what the net for the year
The
looks
accruals
like.
is, yeah, the accruals are mainly salaries and benefits. And so I would assume that's probably, I'm gonna say more on the heavier side than,
Okay,
you know.
okay, good. That's what I was just.
I
summing
think
up
we're
for how
gonna
the
catch
year
up,
comes
yeah.
out. Okay, good.
That, if any place that, but then I say that and then,
Oh, no, I know, I understand. It's just a
also,
swag, but I always know that
Yeah.
you kind of know in your head what it might be, and
Yes.
we don't know until it all
Yeah.
comes in, but I just
Right.
kind of wanted to
Then we
get your
can-
initial reaction.
and then there could also be a student that's a higher level that went to another district and cost us more money than we anticipated.
Okay, okay.
So, but yeah, most of those
But you're gonna have a pretty close to a balanced budget then.
pretty, yeah, and the only thing I'm working on is I'm hoping to get the ESSER 3, the timing of that, I'm hoping to get the ESSER 3 funds reimbursed by the federal government before I officially close this, because that's $198,000 and we have $264,000 of expenses.
Right.
I'd really like to get it in this fiscal year, so it just would be cleaner.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure with the timeline of July 1st, getting it,
because it's all cash, right? You gotta have it in hand.
yeah, well, we'll account for it, I
Yeah.
can, but it'd just be nice not to have to carry that into the next year.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. I'm not in charge of the federal government funds, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'd feel a lot better if you were.
I don't know. Yeah, so the nutrition fund, I tell you what, we are just, that is another celebration and we're getting closer and closer. And that is, we've already expensed that through nutrition. So it's just mainly that will show up in our cash in the general fund when that happens. And, it's a gain of $16,000 and we should celebrate that too at this point in time. This is the first time we have been on a gain all year. So that's a good way to end the year.
Thank you, Gail. Any other questions for Gail? Consent agenda? Anything need to be pulled from the consent agenda or discussed? Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, consent agenda passed. Next meeting is July 19th. Again, make note, we are skipping the July 4th week, so the 19th is going to be our next board meeting at 6 o'clock. Do we have a motion to adjourn? So moved. Further discussion? Lindsay, enjoy retirement.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Yes.
I will,
grandkids.
I will.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.